Ready to dominate at the plate? Blast Baseball is trusted by more major league and college teams than any other hitting solution. The Blast sensor attaches to the knob of any bat, providing real-time feedback with every swing. Go to blastmotion.com and enter code NOWD1 at checkout to save $25. All right, everybody, it is 9 o'clock. Let's get right into it. We do this show every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern on X Spaces. I'm Alan Gay, and this is Now D1 Speaks. Hey, we got a big show tonight, a show we've all really been looking forward to. We've got 25 uncommitted Ethan Alejo. Hey, Ethan, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me on the show.
Hey, Ethan, thank you for being here, man. Really looking forward to tonight. I think this is going to be a ton of fun, man. Hey, why don't you tell us where you go to high school, what your GPA is, any travel teams you play for, and, man, how'd you get into playing baseball?
Well, first off, I'm a 2025 grad. I go to Ponderosa High School. My GPA is a 3.3. And currently, this past summer and fall, I played for Gameday Angels 2025 Hunting Rouse.
Big time stuff right there, man. So let me ask you something. What was it that got you first turned on to baseball?
You know, growing up, I really enjoyed the game. My brother surrounded himself with the game. I used to go to all his high school baseball games. I used to watch it there. I was a bat boy for a while, and I just loved the pace of the game and just like everything going around, all the footwork and all the mechanical stuff. I just loved the game. When I was around 5 years old, I started to tell my parents that, like, hey, I want to try this sport that my brother's doing. They were like, okay, well, we'll get you into this. I first started playing my T-ball league, and then it moved up to pony league.
Good stuff. So 5 years old. Let me ask you something. How much older is your brother than you?
My brother is 24 years old. He
So you're like 16? Are you 16? Yep. Okay, 16. So he's 8 years older than you. So when you were 5 starting to get into it, he was, probably 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
All right, man. Good stuff. Hey, let me ask you about your travel team. Gameday Angels. Did you guys have a good summer?
We did have a good summer. We went 36 and then 1 over the summer. We traveled to places like New Mexico. We went to Utah and then Arizona.
How much fun is that? Did you say you went 36 and 1?
Yes, 36 and 1.
My gosh, what a fun summer, man. You guys absolutely dominated. It
was just a great summer overall.
Yeah, that's so cool. What a great memory. So let me ask you something. What positions do you play? And maybe tell us something that's really like your strengths and maybe a couple things that you're just kind of working on.
Of course. I am primary a third baseman. I play for my high school baseball team, third base, and I also play for my travel ball team, third base. But also I can also play second base because I also work mechanics over there too. Some of the strengths in my game, I think, is my ability to put up in a bat and finding a way just to deliver for the team. Going that oppo approach and then like finding a way on the field just to body the ball up and get that runner out.
Good stuff, man. All right. So you're a 25, you're a rising junior, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. 16 years old. Give us some measurables. What's your height and weight?
I am currently sitting at 5'9.5", and I am 160 pounds.
Perfect. All right. And where do you bat typically in the batting order? You're a top end guy, toward the bottom. Where do you fit in?
I am definitely a top end part of the guy. I bat third or second in the lineup.
Okay. Good deal. And how would you describe your hitting ability? You gap to gap? Do you like to just put the ball in contact? You a power hitter? What are you?
I am both a gap-to-gap and a power hitter. I would mostly focus on going oppo is always my approach, always in at bat. It doesn't matter what the pitch speed is, fast, slow, I'm always trying to go oppo.
I love it. All right. And obviously you are a right-handed hitter.
Yep.
Gotcha. Good times. Good stuff right there. Hey, everybody that is joining this evening, thank you so much for being here. We absolutely appreciate it. We are going to record this space. So if you did get in late, don't worry about it. We'll be able to retweet it out in its entirety. Hey, tonight we're talking with 25 uncommitted Ethan Alejo. He is out of Colorado. He's a big time prospect. He's had a fantastic summer. His travel team was unbelievably good, 36-1, almost unheard of. So let me ask you something, Ethan. You know, as you're rolling into your junior year, kind of probably just finished your fall ball, thinking about what it's going to look like for your spring high school season, what is it that you're really doing to stay motivated and kind of keeping yourself, just pushing yourself to get better?
Definitely my motivation is coming up with this high school season. I'm definitely just trying to get better. My motivation right now is just like putting all my faith in God and just like trying to move on and trying to get bigger, trying to get stronger, trying to get better at the game, and just trying to be humble every time I wake up. I wake up and I say, "You realize you're not good. Don't tell yourself you're a stud. Be humble about it. You're always getting better. Always get better."
Good stuff right there. I kind of like, hey, a couple things that you said really kind of jumped out at me. You want to keep getting stronger. You spending some time in the weight room?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Tell us about that. Like, what's your favorite lift and what is it that you're doing?
Currently, my favorite lift or something that I've been working on a lot is incline bench press, and but definitely my favorite lifting is definitely squatting, because I like to focus on my lower half because that's where I generate all my power on my swing.
Smart. No question. Very, very, very smart. And I love that other little comment you said, hey, man, don't tell yourself you're a stud. So let me ask you something. I mean, if you're just being completely honest, are you a big time baseball player? Are you a stud?
Uh, I don't like to think of it in the way that I am a stud, but I do like to think that I put in the work and time to where I can set myself to a standard that I am a good baseball player, but I'm just not at that level. And I just want to keep working and getting harder just to play at the next level.
Man, great response. That's a fantastic answer right there. I mean, you always want to stay humble. You always want to keep your focus on God. I love that. You're working in the weight room and you're just trying to get better. Good stuff right there. So, Ethan, let
Yes,
me
coach.
ask you something, man. Since 5 years old, you were kind of keeping your eyes on your older brother, been playing a lot of baseball, had a fantastic summer season, rising junior. Got to believe you've had a lot of really big time achievements and some memorable moments. Tell us about something in particular that really stands out. And if you can, just tell us what you learned from it.
Well, first experience, like really, I was 10 years old, still living in California. I was able to be blessed enough to go on the USA team to play against all these other different countries in the World Series for the 10U. And just from there on, when I learned that experience of like playing for like a meaning, playing for something, I was just like, wow, I could see myself playing this game, like dedicating myself to playing this game for a long time, because it really motivated me. Because like people like just you got to focus on something, and to me that was baseball. When I first entered that little league World Series, I just said, wow, like this is what I want to do. Like when I get older, this is what I want to do. I want to play on a high school baseball team. I want to make varsity. I want to go as far as I can in my baseball career.
Man, I love it. I can feel your passion, and I don't blame you. So many life lessons that are involved in there as well. Hey, tell us about some of those tournament experiences that you had while you were 10U and playing, in the Little League World Series.
Yes, of course. So some of those experiences, like I remember this particularly one game we were playing Mexico, and I remember my coach was like, just have fun. You're still 10 years old. You got to have fun out there. I remember stepping up to the box thinking like, I love this game. Next pitch, I drove one pretty deep to center field, scored 3 runs, gave us the lead against Mexico to advance, and that memory just hasn't left.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's a big time memory right there. And I love the coach saying, you know what? Just have fun. That's what it's all about. This at the end of the day, this is still a game. Keep it in perspective. Have fun. Great advice, man. Hey, Ethan, this is an awesome interview, man. I'm so happy that you hopped on here. I'm absolutely appreciating this.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
No doubt. So let me ask you, one of the first things you just said when I asked you to introduce yourself. You started talking about your GPA. I got to ask you, man, it's not easy to kind of balance academic success with athletic success. What is it that you're doing to kind of keep those two things in perspective and really be able to be successful at both?
Of course. So in the class, I just strive to be the best student I possibly can, taking extra time just to study, like outside of like outside of school, outside of baseball. Whenever I have just that hour time, I like to focus on my studies, getting closer to like a better GPA, getting better at my classes. But also, I maintain it by like baseball. I'll go to the gym for like an hour, go to hit for an hour, and then I'll just go to team practice for like 2 hours. So it all works out in the end, and just being respectful and striving well in the classes, and you know, all that will pay off.
Excellent time management. Seems like you're keeping everything in perspective.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. So, Ethan, let me ask you about, gosh, probably, I'm thinking about influences in your life, really your academic life or your athletic life. If you think about coaches that really had a big impact or players along the way, who would they be? And just kind of give us some of those big time moments.
Yes, of course. I've been influenced by all my coaches at my current clubhouse, Gameday. I like to think like Coach Diaz, Coach Octoman, Coach Coons, and Coach Mark. They always have strived to put me out there, get me better, and just not controlling like just my baseball ability, but like me as a person. And I think that's really helped me like with my baseball career because they've helped me to grow their time and effort just to get me better at all the things like my aspects of my life, my character, faith, and just baseball in general.
Hey, big time stuff right there. So let me ask you about the four coaches, Coach Diaz, Octoman, Coons, and Mark. How long have you been with Game Day?
I moved from California when I was 11 years old. I moved out here in 2017, and I was just looking for a baseball program. I was like, I don't have anything. Like, I left my old team, so I was like, my parents were like, well, there's this one program called Gameday. So I went, tried out. I made a team that was a year older than me. I met Coach Coons. He's one of the recruiting coordinators at Gameday, and he just introduced himself and just like introduced like Gameday and just helped me. And then Coach Mark, which is the owner of Gameday, he really saw something on in me and put me on his team. And for 2 years, I played with him. Greatest experience I think I've ever like witnessed for my childhood baseball career. And then Coach Diaz, he just strives to help me get better every single time he sees me, working on mechanics and just telling me what I need to work on. And then Coach Octerman for having me get stronger and developing my build. So I think all those four coaches, like I wouldn't be here without you guys.
Man, that's good. That's big time stuff right there. And thankful for the mom. Man, your mom absolutely did a little bit of research, found a quality program. You've
Yes,
been with it. Yeah, man. You've been with them, what, 6 years, 7 years, something like that? I mean, that's unbelievable. The whole time you've been in Colorado, you have essentially been with Game Day.
yes, I have.
I got to tell you, and there's going to be a lot of people listening. I mean, I think you know this, Ethan. I mean, our core audience is really uncommitted high school prospects. And I got to say, and their families. And I got
Mhm.
to say, for the guys that are listening and the families as well, plant roots. This is a perfect example. I mean, Ethan had an opportunity. He found the right fit and he stayed there. And I've got to imagine, I know you've been successful over the 6 years with these coaches and this team, but there's
Mhm.
probably been some times that were a little bit stressful. There were probably some hardships. There was something to overcome, and you stayed and you stuck it out. And I've got to tell you, man, that's the kind of thing that really builds and it puts you in a position to be really successful, not only at the collegiate level, but honestly, Ethan, really in life. I just
Mhm.
give you a ton of credit. I give your mom so much credit for finding them. Sounds like you got four great coaches. You got a great opportunity, man. You absolutely, hey, you've taken advantage of it. They gave it to you and you took advantage of it. That's the way to do it.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, no question about it. Hey, I mentioned earlier that we record this space. And one of the reasons we record it is obviously so that we can retweet it out later in its entirety. But we also record it because we turn it into a podcast. And that podcast is Now D1 Speaks. And I just mentioned a little bit earlier, I mean, part of our core audience is really uncommitted high school prospects and their families. The other piece is really college coaches. And we kind of marry the two together. And it just gives coaches that opportunity to hear people like Ethan and what their makeup is all about. I mean, we're certainly going to talk about some achievements on the field, but primarily we're really focused on what are you doing off the field? You know, what kind of teammate are you? What kind of student are you? What kind of just human are you? Are you a good person? You know, and those things are so important to a college coach because ultimately, hey, man, they're looking for the skill set. If they're interested in you, they know that you can play baseball. They know that you're big, you're fast, you're strong. You know how to play ball. The one piece they may not be 100% sure about is what kind of guy are you off the field? And I think that this little opportunity to hop on a podcast and really talk about the things that you're interested in and what it is that you've been able to achieve off the field just gives those coaches that sense of confidence that, you know what, I don't have to worry about Ethan when he gets here. When he is not on the field, he's going to be doing what it takes to be successful in the classroom, and he's also going to be successful off the field. And then when we get together on the field, we can concentrate on winning. So, hey, if you're interested in this kind of environment, I hope you'll go out and find us. Again, it's Now D1 Speaks, and it is on every platform literally across the country, you know, from the independent platforms all the way to Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Hey, Ethan.
Yes.
This is a great night, man. You're doing a fantastic job. You got a lot on the ball. You got a great future, super athletic. You're doing a great job academically. You got great support. I mean, you are absolutely knocking it out. So let me ask you, let me ask you something. As you get ready to play games, you know, whether it's a high school game or a travel game, man, how do you get mentally prepared? Do you have a very set routine that you like to go through? Or do you have just whatever happens, or do you have some rituals that you like to kind of lean on?
I do like to focus on a set routine. I just feel that if you have a routine, it'll help like your game. Like if you stick with that routine, it'll help you. So what I do first every single time before I get to the field, I'll listen to music. It doesn't matter what genre, it doesn't matter what. It calms me. It gets me prepared for the game. And it gets me into the groove, and then I like to picture myself doing good in that game. Winning the game, like going 3 for 3, it doesn't matter. Just doing good in that game. And then what I like to do like physically when I get to the field, I like to throw a ball like maybe 20 feet up in the air and work on my mechanics. And then what I don't think most people do is most people like they'll take hacks, but what I like to do is like to get to the field like 45 minutes early. And then I like to just get in the box, practice for like 30 minutes, my routine, like my prep step and all that. Like it'll help me in game. Like that is just a routine that I do every single time before game, and it helps me.
It's good stuff, Ethan. Man, I love the excitement in your voice. You're just an absolute go-getter. So let me ask you something, Ethan. I know you don't care about what kind of music you're listening to, but if you had to listen to something in particular that really gets you fired up, what would it be?
I'm a really big country man, so I would go either Zach Bryan or Morgan Wallen for sure.
I love it. I was not expecting you to say that. I love that. A California kid that moves to Colorado that really leans on country. I can
Yeah.
appreciate that. I'm from Georgia. I love it.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. Hey, man, let's talk about your goals. All right.
Mhm.
One thing I have not asked you, I'm really interested in. All right, you just kind of finished your fall season, high school baseball. How did you guys, high school, how did you guys do last year? And what's the expectation for this year?
For high school, we did pretty good. We lost a lot of good guys, including some D1 commits. But going into this last high school season, we were like, we don't know if we'll be able to go to state or like even regionals. But we proved everybody wrong. We won 5 games in a row. Uh, I ended up going 8 for 8 in 2 games in one day, and then we somehow made it into regionals. we knocked out number 7 Legacy, who was like they had a lot of good commits on that team, and lost the next game. But it really just it all mattered because we were like, next year we've got this. Like this same group of guys returning, we've got this. Like this year, like that last year was just let's see where this takes us. This year we have an expectation, and that's to go to state.
Oh man, congratulations. So much excitement. I mean, that's definitely building up. So is the majority of the guys juniors or seniors, or is it just a nice mix and the expectation is really high and the confidence is high?
The mix is mostly juniors this year. We have a few top seniors, and then we have a few sophomores. But really, like, just the team chemistry is there for all of us. We have very much confidence going into this high school season, knowing that, like, we are a competitive team. We can compete with the highest level.
Man, I love that. You guys are going to have a great year, man. I'm absolutely going to keep my eye on Ponderosa and see if you guys can take the state this year.
Thank you.
No question, man. So, all right. So, I got a sense short-term goal. Absolutely want to compete as well as you can, make a deep run in the state playoffs. What about long-term? I mean, what is it that you're really wanting to achieve maybe over the next 2 to 5 years?
Next 2 to 5 years, I'm just trying to achieve as much as possible. I just want to go to play in college. That's always been my dream ever since I was a little kid. Just go play in college, and then after that, let's see how hard I work, and then hopefully take it further than that. But other than that, like just playing in college, and then like just becoming the best baseball player I can be for my high school team and at the collegiate level is all I want.
Awesome. Hey, thinking about, and I don't know if you've thought this far ahead, but just kind of thinking about your collegiate career, have you considered what it is that you may want to major in?
Currently, because both my parents are both nurses, I have been influenced into the medical field. I am trying to study to be a doctor right now.
Well, nothing wrong with that. That's an outstanding. Now that's a serious long-term goal right there to be a doctor.
Hmm.
No question about it. So, all right. So, hey, man, if you want to be able to play at the next level, obviously one of the big pieces to kind of fit that together, you really need to be recruited. Kind
Hmm.
of talk to us just a little bit about your recruiting process and how things are going.
Uh, for my recruiting process right now, I have been getting some follows on all my platforms, NCSA, field level. I've got some notice from a couple of D1 schools, a couple of D2 schools, and it's just starting to pay off because I've been getting invitations too. I got an invitation to go to UNC and to San Francisco baseball camps, and I did take the UNC one, and it was a great experience. Getting to like show the coaches what I got. So I think so far my recruiting process is going as expected for as a junior. So I'm very happy with it.
Man, that's outstanding. So your options are really wide open. I mean, you're not really kind of limiting yourself to a region or even a state like Colorado. You're really looking across the country.
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's fantastic. So you had a good time in Chapel Hill?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's a fantastic campus. It's gorgeous.
It is absolutely beautiful.
No question about it. Hey, man, I got to tell you again, this has really, really been a good night. Man, I've enjoyed getting to know you, Ethan. I think you got so much on the ball. I think you're an outstanding ball player. I mean, I
Thank
love the stuff that you're doing, the kind of the background that you already have. I can hear it in your voice. You're just totally driven. When I think about the coaches that you have, I mean, not only from the high school level, but certainly from the travel side as well. I mean, you've really surrounded yourself with big time people.
you.
Obviously, your parents are involved. I keep
Mhm.
thinking about your mom moving from California to Colorado, finding the team that you should really be with. And guess
Yeah,
what? You're still with them. I mean, you've
still with
really,
them.
no question, man. You put yourself in a good position. You got parents that are already in the medical field. There's nothing wrong with you going into the medical field. I mean, you've got a very, very bright future.
Thank you.
One of the things I think about, Ethan, I mean, you and your parents, you guys are probably going to have some really, really, you know, difficult decisions in making sure that you're finding the fit that is just right for you. But that's all positive. I mean, that's the good stuff. That's what it is that you really, really want to be able to do. Because I got
Yeah,
to tell you, man, just kind of listening to everything that you have said, you are right here on the doorstep of the rest of your life. And you have absolutely put yourself in the kind of position that you want to be, man. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
No question about it. Hey, let's kind of wrap up tonight. And maybe, I've asked you a lot of questions about where it is that you're going. Hey,
Hmm.
man, maybe you could kind of help out some guys that are a little bit younger than you. If you think about, the experiences that you had when you were playing for the Little League World Series and so forth, and the tournaments and how you kind of went through that, think about that age and think about a guy that's really good at baseball. And you know what? He wants to be as good as he can be for as long as he can be. What kind of advice would you give him?
I'd say for the younger athletes, it's just to have fun. Play your heart out every second of the game. Every second depends on that field. You just got to be patient and don't worry about like other success. Don't focus on your own. Just focus on your own. Do not be jealous of anybody else's. You got to focus on what you're trying to do. Achieve your goals, not somebody else's. So I would say to the younger group that like play your heart out, enjoy every single second of the game because that's what I did.
Man, that's fantastic advice. And one of the things that jumped out at me right off the bat, you said, have fun. And that
Have
immediately made me think about the coach that you first referenced when he just said, you know what? Have fun. And you
have
kept
fun.
everything in perspective. You had a great game.
Hmm.
No question. Hey, Ethan, man, this has been a fun night, man. I hope you have honestly and truly enjoyed this evening. I know I have. I think you got just a tremendously bright future, man. And I just appreciate you jumping on and kind of walking through where it is that you've been and where it is that you ultimately want to go. So, man, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Alan. I appreciate every single second that you've given me on this podcast right now.
Man, that's some really kind words. Thank you so much. I absolutely appreciate it. And I tell you what, guys, thank you so much for dialing in, listening. We absolutely appreciate your support. And I can't think of a better way to end it tonight than with that comment that Ethan just said. So with that, hey, good night. Hey, let me ask you something. Are you ready to dominate at the plate this season? Blast Baseball is the #1 hitting improvement solution, trusted by more major league, college, and travel ball teams than any other. The blast sensor attaches to the knob of any bat, providing real-time feedback with every swing. Metrics are automatically sent to a smartphone app, generating insights that allow you to analyze and improve your hitting like never before. Go to blastmotion.com and enter code NOWD1 and you will save $25 at checkout. Unlock your potential with Blast.